Wyoming. It's open, big, and full of adventure. Over the course of this week, we drove 2,500 miles to get here with my dog. And we're not stopping now. Taking my dog on a road trip with my family, nearly 2,500 miles each way to visit Yellowstone. After spending almost a week traveling out here, we're almost ready to explore. And we start the second leg of our adventure leaving Gillette on our way to Bighorn National Forest. Going through Buffalo, we come over a hill, and you can only see for about 2 miles because of the smoke. All of Wyoming is under an air quality advisory. The Oregon wildfires have been terrible the last couple weeks, and the haze has been turning the entire windy sky into a thick haze. Hopefully there will be less smoke once we get closer to Sheridan and Bighorn. This is big sky country, where you should be able to see forever across the horizon. Wildfires out west can be caused by a wide variety of things, but its effects are ugly and hurt everyone. Just double checking the air quality, and there's an active wildfire in Bighorn where we're supposed to go. What we did see was some moose. The baby's getting milk from the mom. That's very cute. Driving into the forest, we saw the beautiful mountains and a decent amount of wildlife on the top. The moose was on my list of things I wanted to see, so checking it off was great. Then we went down to Shell Falls, a beautiful waterfall in the Bighorn Mountains. The mountains and canyons were beautiful, and I got a chance to ride through all of it. The mountains were a nice break from the smoke, but back at the bottom there is still a bit. The wind has been pushing the car back and forth, and I hurt my knee at the falls. Hopefully everything ends up fine. But we're on our way to the town founded by Buffalo Bill, Cody. Just as the cowboy and entertainer had a flair for the extravagant, so does everything in this city. Cody's been an Old West town with everything from outlaw cabins to Lewis and Clark era canoes. They actually took the houses from Old West towns with interesting stories and moved them all together to tell the Wild West narrative. We're at Buffalo Bill Dam, a project west of Cody. It looked great and the wind on the dam smelled fresh. Hopefully the thunderstorm will blow the mist away, which it sort of did. We had dinner, now time for one more Cody surprise for the evening, the nightly rodeo.
Capital of the world. But I tell you, friends, you are at the right spot. We've got 2 hours of rodeo action coming to you just minutes away.
Introduction to Wyoming. Today we attempted the Beartooth Pass, a road from Wyoming into Montana. On the way out, we see construction vehicles and we're stopped for a little while.
Everyone's getting out of their motorcycles.
Before all the cows were crowded next.
But afterwards, we see a couple chipmunks on an overlook. Pretty fun. There were a lot of people on motorcycles though. Then stopping at the bridge, some more beautiful views. This is supposed to be one of the prettiest drives in America. With the rain clearing some of the smoke, it should be a pretty good day. Until some road closures, the construction make the drive much longer.
I climbed to the top. Oh, that was really, really scary. Oh. I'm at the top. There's snow over there. It's so cold. Oh, it feels so cool. Oh, this is awesome. It's beautiful. I'm gonna go back down now. Oh, it's so awesome.
And Beartooth Pass. I climbed to the top of a small mountain on top of the big one. For that while, I was the tallest person in the entire forest. And driving just out, we saw mountain goats.
Let's go. Yeah, so there's more air than usual in here. Because the elevation, since they filled it with denser air and now it's less dense, it's just puffy. It's cool. Interesting fact.
That was another animal on my list, so I left the forest very satisfied. We're now at Red Lodge, a small touristy town in Montana. Got a bit to eat, now we plan on visiting Heart Mountain, a Japanese internment camp. It's hard to say exactly what it was. The history of the place is hard to put in words correctly. I remember learning about it because it involved relocating over 100,000 Japanese Americans from the West Coast and Hawaii during World War II. It's just a stark contrast between the beautiful scenery and grim history. It began to rain, and afterwards we took a short walk to the nightly rodeo. You could see the mountains, and the rain took away some of the smoke. Hopefully tomorrow will look good. This morning we leave for Yellowstone, one of the most visited national parks. It's the highlight of Wyoming. The visibility is still pretty good leaving Cody, and I hope it stays that way. Entering the park, we drive through a beautiful mountain pass followed by miles and miles of construction. As soon as it's over, the thick fumes of sulfur fill our car. We see a bunch of steam vents along the lake road as well. One thing that's bittersweet is this disease that's running around. Things aren't really closed in the park, but the threat of it keeps crowds away. That wasn't until the second night in the park and everything got shut down and we couldn't eat outside or inside or anything. It really sucked, but that's tomorrow's problem. First, we went to the mud volcanoes. Smelled like rotten eggs.
There were tons of bison and I got some amazing shots. Then we head to the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone. My favorite was Artist Point, where we got the best view of the lower falls. It was far away, but still probably the best. Then we visited the rim of the upper falls, and then the rim of the lower falls. The upper was easy and had cool views, but the lower falls was pretty sizable hike down 600 vertical feet of switchbacks. It was worth it in my opinion, but my dad didn't think so. We were looking forward to Inspiration Point, as it was really highly rated. You couldn't even see the falls though. Definitely recommend Artist Point the most. It was by far the busiest. But on the way back, we saw more bison. Hey yo, bison burger.
I didn't get that. I got
At the lake in Yellowstone.
bacon on mine.
I wonder where this bison came from.
They're so cool. Got some bison burgers near our cabin, which was questionable, but now we're walking to the lake. Now on the way to see Hayden Valley and the bison. There were a lot. We were there for hours just watching them get other people into traffic jams and drinking and rolling around in the dirt. It actually had a lot of fun regardless of the terrible traffic getting out there. We saw a pretty sunrise this morning. Today is Geyser Day. We head to the Upper Geyser Basin to see tons of springs and vents. Then, Old Faithful erupts. It teased us with a few small spurts, but the big thing was amazing. After that, we went to some of the middle basins and saw some cool hot springs. We didn't take the first parking lot, which was the hike overlook over the Grand Prismatic, but we might another day when it looks less busy.
Unfortunately, it's a very shy geyser.
Passed some more geysers, then headed to the north entrance to see Roosevelt Arch. It was really pretty, and since it was outside the park, the food was cheaper and tasted better. The souvenirs were different because every piece of clothing inside the park is basically the same. We skipped the Mammoth Hot Springs on the drive because some people were blocking the open spots. The upper Mammoth Hot Springs were really pretty though. We went to go see marmots at a certain spot, but we only saw chipmunks. Roaring Mountain is a mountainside that spews gases out, but it started to thunder, so we couldn't stay long. And once we got back towards Canyon Village, the rain magically stopped. Just like last night. It rained some more, so we chilled in our cabin for the rest of the evening. Our leg in Yellowstone's coming to a close, but we still have over 2,000 miles to drive home. So tune in again next week for the final part of this Yellowstone journey, where we travel the Oregon Trail backwards.